So, student, we are going to start second chapter, The Sound of Music, and written by Deborah Coley. This chapter has two parts. The first part is Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it, and second part is on Ustad Bismillah Khan. So, to begin with the first part, before we read, there's some notes given about the chapter. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. So these words are written about Evelyn Glennie. Evelyn Glennie was a deaf girl, but what she has achieved in her life that we learned in the chapter. So God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. The God Almighty has taken her hearing means she has become deaf, but the God Almighty has given her some extraordinary. Extraordinary means some special skills, quality, or creativity, you can say. So, what we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. Mean to say that so whatever we hear, she could feel that. If there is any sound, because she is deaf, she cannot hear it, but she can feel it. And this is the extraordinary thing that the God has given to her. And she could feel it far more deeply than any of us. We generally don't feel the sound. Or if you feel it's a very meager, but she could feel profoundly. Okay, so that is why she expresses music so beautifully. She could express music. So read the following account of a person who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. So this story about Evelyn Glennie is a very inspiring story where we can learn that how we can fight our odds, how we can overcome the challenges that we face in our life. Even being a physically handicapped, this girl has done such a thing that gives us a lot of motivation. Let's go through the chapter. So here it is. So rush hour crowd jostle for position on the underground train platform. A rush hour means the time when lot of traffic is there on the road at a particular time of the day. So maybe in the morning when everybody goes to their working places, or maybe during the evening time when they come back. So that time there's heavy rush on the road, so that is called rush hour. So this rush hour crowd means the crowd that generally gathered or they generally come out at a particular point in time. That jostle means when we push one another around us, okay, in order generally to make their ways. So moving with pushing other people, especially when we are in crowd. Okay. So rush our crowds jostle. Means the crowd was jostling. They are pushing one another for position. What position? It is written on the underground train platform. So mean to say that the people were there on the platform. They wanted to board the train. Train has not yet come there, but they are taking their position as the train is about to approach. So the crowd was there on the underground platform and they were waiting for the train. They were taking their position to board the train. A slight girl, slight mean thin, small, girl. This is the character of the story, the main character of the story. Slight girl, small and thin girl, looking younger than her 17 years. She was looking younger than 17 years. Means she hasn't yet turned 17 years and was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of the approaching train. This girl was nervous. She was also on the platform along with the crowd. She was also waiting for the train, but though she was nervous, but she was excited as she felt the vibration of the approaching train. Approaching train means nearing train, the train that is coming towards the station. Vibration means these are the waves, the periodic movement of the energy that will vibration. If you hit anything, let's say some utensils or the chord of the guitar, so it vibrates for certain time. Okay, so that vibration of the train. So she didn't hear the train approaching. She felt the vibration of the approaching train. So she was nervous. She was excited. Two things are given here. So why she was nervous? So that will come to know, and why she was excited, that too will come to know later on. So it was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of the Music in London. So this was the reason why she was nervous, because she was going to the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London. Prestigious meaning famous, renowned, very well known. So Royal Academy of the Music in London. This was her first day, and that's why she was a little bit nervous. When we go somewhere first time, especially for the interview, for the audition, and it's all, so we get a little bit nervous. Okay, and daunting enough. Daunting means frightening, frightening. Okay, frightening. So she was frightening. Why frightening? Frightening enough for any teenager fresh from Scottish farm. So this is also given here that she was from a Scottish farm. What is Scottish farm? Scottish means something pertaining to Scotland. I mean that girl were from Scotland, and farm means it's a residential area where you cultivate your grain also, where you grow your crops. So that we call farms. Scottish farm means she was a new one that has come from Scotland, and that's why she was daunting, frightening. Okay, so this was why she was nervous and why she was excited, that also we will learn. Okay, so the girl was there on the platform waiting for the train to come. She was going to the Royal Academy of Music in London. She has come all the way from the Scotland. And but this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Okay, so she was nervous, she was daunting, she was frightening. But here it is given that these are not the big challenges for her. That is, she was first time coming here, she was nervous. The bigger challenge was that she was profoundly deaf. Profoundly means completely, extremely deaf. Aspiring musician. Aspire means when you pursue something, when you chase something, like your goals, your mission. So we come to know that this is aspiring musician means he wanted to become a musician. Okay, so we come to know a little bit about this girl here. Okay, so the first thing that she was there on the platform, she wanted to go to the Royal Academy of Music in London. She was a little bit nervous. She has come from the Scotland. She was first time coming to the London, and the bigger thing is that she was profoundly deaf. She was deaf. She couldn't listen to anything. Okay. Now next. Albin Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Gradual means that happens slowly, not at once. That we call gradual. Okay, so Alvin Glennie loss of hearing had been gradual. I mean, it was not all of a sudden she became a deaf, and she was not deaf by birth even. So gradually she started losing her hearing. Gradual, slowly, not at once. So her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Albin was waiting to play the piano. So this is here the mother noticed something wrong with the girl when she was 8 year old. So here we come to know that the first sign of her losing her hearing was noticed by her mother when she was 8 year old. The mother found that something was wrong with her. And when did she notice this? When she was waiting, mean Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her, they maybe both the parents, they called her name and she didn't move. So they called her name, they wanted her to come to play the piano, but she didn't move. She didn't follow. Okay. Why? It is given there. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard. The mother says Isabel Clenny. That's the mother. Okay. So I suddenly realized she hadn't heard. So this was the first sign the parents observed that she was having some trouble in hearing. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teacher for quite a while, means for certain period of time. For a while, for some days or some months, you can say, or years, you can say. Okay, so quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal. Concealment to hide. When you don't want other to notice anything, that we call hide. Hide. Okay. So she also tried to hide her disability, her growing deafness from friend and teacher. So generally, when we are suffering with some disease or some physical impair, so we try to conceal it, we try to hide it, we don't want everybody to know it. So that is what she also had done. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her mistress asked her parent to take her to a specialist. Okay. So by the time she was 11, so when it was first noticed that she had something wrong with her hearing, that time she was 8 year old. Now here she is now 11-year-old, and this time when the headmistress of Elvin noticed that her marks had deteriorated. Marks had deteriorated. Deteriorated means when something has been spoiled or something is degraded or become worse. So marks mean here you can take it as a or progress. So when the headmistress noticed that her progress has become worse, she asked, Arjmin asked or said to her parents to take her to a specialist. A specialist means it's generally referred here a doctor who treat a particular type of illness that we call specialist. Okay, so the headmistress asked her parent to take her to some specialist. Okay, so it was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So here finally they come to know her parents or herself came to know that it was because of the gradual nerve damage she was severely impaired. Okay, severely means completely. Okay, or badly. Impaired means having disability. So here they come to know about it. Okay, so they were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to school for the deaf. So the doctor, they means here doctor. So the doctors, they were means parents. The parents were advised means they were advised by the doctor that she should be fitted with hearing aid. Hearing aid, you understand? These are some sort of devices that are used by the people who are having this hearing problem. So the parents were also advised by the doctor that she should be fitted with these hearing aids or these devices, and she should be sent to the school for the deaf. Means now she should not continue the school for the normal children, rather she should be sent to a school for deaf. Okay, so everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Everything suddenly looked black. So what does black means? Everything she found it's a hopeless now, disappointing for her life. Okay. So generally happen when we find that we are suffering with some serious disease and that is going to affect our normal course of life. So we see that okay, everything has become now black. So this all happened with Evelyn also. But Evelyn was not going to give up. So many people lose their heart when they come when these sort of challenges come before them. But Evelyn was not that sort of a person. She didn't give up, or she was not going to give up. Give up means to leave something doing. Okay, so give up, that we call give up. To leave doing something. Suppose I'm doing something, I face some trouble, I just leave that work. So that we call give up. So, but she was not going to give up. Means she was not going to dishearten. So she was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. She was determined to lead a normal life. She didn't want this hearing loss to come on her way. She wanted to live a normal life and she wanted to pursue her interest in music. Pursue means when you follow, generally your dream, your mission. Okay. So she wanted to pursue interest in music, means she wanted to become a musician in her life. She wanted to follow her dream to become a musician. So here we come to know about her character that she is a well-determined girl that that cannot be shaken by disabilities or any sort of challenges. So one day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to. So how did she inspire? How did she inspire to become a musician? In her school only, she was a part of orchestra in her school, and one day she found a girl. She saw a girl playing a xylophone. Xylophone is a musical instrument played by stacking a row of the wooden bars of gradual length. You could see it here is a picture of xylophone. Okay, so these are the wooden bars, gradual length. Mean here's longer, then shorter, and shorter, 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 like this. And these are the sticks. So by using this stick, if we stack this wooden bar, it's make different sounds. That's called xylophone. So the girl was playing xylophone, and Evelyn noticed that, and there she got inspired, and she wanted to play it too. She decided that she wanted to play too. Okay. So next, most of the teachers discouraged her. Why? Why the teacher might have discouraged her? Because the teachers knew that she was physically impaired. Okay, she cannot hear, so it won't be good for her to become a musician, because if you want to become a musician you should be able to hear the music, and that's why they discouraged her to pursue her interest in music. But percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. Ron Forbes, this percussionist. What is percussionist? Is a musician who play percussion instrument. I mean instrument those are played by hitting their surface. A musician who plays instrument with beating them like a drum and etc. Okay, that we call like tabla, jazz, this xylophone. This all we call. Okay, so that Ron Forbes is the name of the teacher who was a percussionist, means playing this type of instrument, and spotted her potential. Spotted means he observed, he noticed, he found potential, means capability, strength. So most of the teacher discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He knew that she has some sort of capability to become a musician, and he increased her. What did he do? He began to tuning two large drum of different notes. Tuning means to set them at a particular tune or note or pitch, you can say, adjusting the tune of the instrument. You might have seen, okay. So he began to tuning two large drum to different notes, to different pitches, you can say. So don't listen through your ears. This was the instruction given by her teacher, Ron Forbes. Don't listen through your ears. He would say, try to sense it some other way. So herein, Ron Forbes encouraged the girl to listen to the drum using other ways. So what was that other ways? Okay. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from waist down. So because she was deaf, she couldn't hear using her ears. That's why Ron Forbes asked her to try to sense, try to feel, or try to hear the sound of the drums using some other ways. And this is what she did, and suddenly she realized that she could feel the higher drum, means the drum that was set at the higher note could be heard from the waist up. Waist, you already know, the part of the human body below the ribs and above the hip. The waist where we generally tie our trousers or pants. So waist up, from the body part, waist up, she could hear the drum that was set on the higher note, and the lower one, means the drum that was set to the lower note, could be heard or could be felt by her body part, through the body part waist down. So this was the first time she realized that she could feel the instrument or the sound that were set as the different notes using her different parts of the body. So Forbes repeated the exercise, means the same exercise that he had given her, uh, feeling the drums using her body parts. The same exercise was given again to her, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain nodes in different parts of body. Sense means she could realize, she could feel it. Okay, certain notes sound with a specific pitch. Notes we have already discussed about it. So soon she realized that she could hear or she could feel the sound of the different notes through her different parts of the body. Then she says, I had learned to open my mind and body to the sound and vibrations. Now she started learning how to feel the sound and the vibration using her body part and using her mind. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. So here her journey began. She started feeling the sound using her different parts of the body. And after that, whatever success she got in her life, that was because of the sheer determination. Sheer means completely or absolute. So complete determination and hard work. So these two things are there that is must for a person to achieve one's goal. Determination and hard work. So these two things are always required if you want to taste success in our life. And this was must for Evelyn because she was not a normal child. She was a deaf, and to achieve what she wanted to achieve in her life, she needed these two things. Okay, so she never looked back from that point onwards. Means when she started feeling the sound using her body parts, that point onwards, she never looked back. Means she always keep on moving ahead. She always maintain her progress in learning the music, feeling the music, and playing the music. She toured the United Kingdom with the youth orchestra. Tour means to visit United Kingdom with youth orchestra because she was yet a teenager. So she was a part of the youth orchestra. The orchestra means a group of musicians. So she toured, she visited different parts of the United Kingdom, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. So by the time she became 16 years old, now she decided that she not only want to become a musician, but she wanted to make music her life. Means she wanted to devoted her life to the music only. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music. Auditions mean to give a short performance to show one's talent. That we call audition. Okay. So she auditions for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest me. So very simple that when the story begins with when the chapter begins, it is said that she was there on the platform waiting for the train to come on board, and she was going to the Royal Academy of Music. So that was she was going for that purpose only. She auditioned there and she scored one of the highest mark in the history of the academy. Okay. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performance. So initially she was part of the orchestra. She used to perform in orchestra, but later once she started giving her solo performance. Now solo means a single one. A program or any show in which a single artist used to perform. that we call solo performance. So from orchestra, she started giving solo performance. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. That means at the end of her 3-year course, when she was about to complete her course, 3-year course at the Royal Academy of Music, by that time she had captured or she had got almost all the top awards. So this you could see that how much hard work, how much dedication she might have put out in achieving her goal. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievements. So this means the when she was very young, that time only she scored many top awards, but she didn't recognize it as a heroic achievement. Mean to say that she didn't see that this was a very great achievement for her to get those awards, those top awards. Why she didn't consider them as a heroic achievement? Because she believed that if you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. Means when your goal is clear and you are very dedicated to reach that place, you are very determined to achieve that goal, it is sure to achieve. You will get there, means you will reach your destination, you will reach your goal. So it is not a heroic achievement. Once one has decided that one has to go to there and is well determined, so there is no one who can stop him or her from achieving there. So this is normal course of action for her, and she got right to the top and she became a top musician, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist. World's most sought after means who is generally followed by others, or who people want to listen to or want to see her performance. So most sought after multi-percussionist. Multi means who can play multiple instrument. Multi-percussionist. A percussionist. This is already explained to what is a percussionist. So multi means who not only play one instrument but used to play many instruments. Okay, with mastery of the some thousand instruments, he could play some thousand instruments. You can imagine. And hectic international schedule. So, mean to say that when she was most sought after musicians, so definitely she would be having a hectic international schedule. Hectic means one is a full of activity. Anything is a full of activity. One person has many things to do and one day and to perform many activity to one day. That we call hectic. So hectic international schedule. Schedules means when these are the program, different type of program means you have to attend many program. So that is a hectic international schedule. International mean a different country. She was not only famous in UK but in other countries also. She has to give her performance. You're going to watch Evelyn functioning so effortlessly without hearing. It's intriguing, very fascinating, very interesting to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. Means he cannot hear anything, but still she could function. She could play instrument so effortlessly. Okay, that it really fascinate people to watch. In our 2 hour discussion, she never missed a word. Now the author says that whenever she was communicating to her, she never missed a word, means she was always attentive and she always knew that what was spoken by her. Though she couldn't hear, but still she was able to understand the words. So how this was possible? Because using the lips movements and the facial expressions, she had developed the art to know what the person is talking to her. So this is the remark of the author. Then she added, "Men with bushy beard give me trouble." So whenever, mean to say that whenever she talk to a person with a bushy beard, bushy means thickly, growing thickly. Okay, so men with the bushy beard give me trouble. Why? Because if a person with a beard, with thickly grown beard, so what is happening, the most part of his face is covered with the beard, even the leaves and your cheeks and this all. So it gives her troubles. It creates some difficulty for her to understand what the person is talking, because the lips and the most part of the face is not visible. Okay, so it is not just watching the lips, it is whole face, especially the eyes. Means he is giving clue how does he understand what the person is talking. She used to observe the lips, the movement of the lips of the person, and not only lips, the whole face, whole facial expressions, and especially eyes. So combination of these things, by watching them, by observing them, she tried to understand that what a person is talking. So if a person is with a bushy beard, so most part of his face is covered, and that's why she was not able to observe those expressions, and that's why it gives her trouble to understand what a person is talking. She speaks flawlessly without any trouble, without any fault or mistake. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. Lilt means way to speak, way to pronounce. Okay, so because she was from Scotland, so there was some little bit Scottish lilt in her spoken. So my speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11. So what she mean to say that generally a person who is deaf by birth cannot even utter sentences or cannot speak anything, because the person didn't hear anything, so she cannot reproduce those sounds. But this was not case with Evelyn. She was not deaf by birth, but till the age of 11 she could hear, and that's why she could produce the words. So that's why her speech was clear, because she had heard people speaking, and that's why she could produce those words. Okay, but that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. So this is one more thing about this girl, that okay, this is okay that she became deaf when she was 11 years old, and that's why she could speak fluently. But how did she learn? How did she manage to learn French and Japanese? She had learned these two languages after she became deaf. But how could she do this? This is beyond explanation. This doesn't explain how she managed. Means it's very difficult to understand how could she manage this. So here we come to know not only the music, but she also learned two more languages. That was French and Japanese. As for music, she explains, it passes in through every part of my body. Means she observe. Power means flow. The music flow in through every part of her body. Means she could feel the music through every part of her body. It tingles. Tingles means pricking sensation. So prickling sensation, it tingles means it creates some sort of sensation in her skin. The music. My cheekbones and even my hair means she could even feel the music through her cheekbones and even in her hair. Cheekbones, the bone of the cheek. So that means even through here also she could hear the music. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. Now giving some more clues that how could she feel the music, how could she listen using her body parts. Whenever she plays xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. She used to hold the stick and with those sticks she struck the xylophone. So there is a contact between xylophone and her fingertips through the stick. So this vibration comes from the xylophone through the stick to her fingertips, and this is how she feel the sound of the xylophone by leaning against the drum. So how does she listen, or how does she feel the sound of the drum? She says she can feel the resonance flowing into her body, okay, by leaning against the drum. By leaning means bending towards the drum. She can feel resonance. Resonance means echo. So the echo of the sound of the drum can be felt when she leans against the drum. So these are the different way that is explained here. How does she feel the sound? On the wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration pass through her bare feet and up her legs. So if she is performing in a wooden floor or wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibration, she could feel the vibration of the sound, vibration of the music that would pass from the platform through her bare feet and up to her legs. So these are the different ways. How does she feel the sound of the music? Okay, now next, not surprisingly, Elvin delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So, not surprisingly, Elvin delights her audiences. Means she always make her audiences happy. Audiences mean the people who come to listen or watch the performances. So she delights. Now it is about her achievements. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society Prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So this is the name of the award. Okay. So Philharmonic means something related to the music only. Okay. So this is the name of the award that she got in 1991. Soloist means the single performer. She is master percussionist James Blades. This was what he said. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. Mean to say that the this was given in the beginning of the chapter, I mean before we started the chapter. So these were the words of James Blades only, who was another master percussionist. Said the hearing has been taken, but she has been given something extraordinary by the God. What we hear, she feel far more deeply than any of us. And she could feel the music far more than any of us, and that is why she expresses music beautifully. So Evelyn confesses that she is something of workaholic. Workaholic means a person who never get tired working and who always wanted to work. So that is what workaholic means. She always wanted to do some work. So I have just got to work means she always want something to do, often harder than classical musicians. Classical musicians are the musicians those you know involved in the classical music, and they are very hard worker. They have to attend their mastery after doing lot of rehearsals, lot of hard work is required. And she said that she was even she often work harder than classical musician, but the rewards are enormous. Though she always love to hard work, and after that the reward that she gets is enormous. Enormous means large number or huge or many. So hard work always comes with reward. So that is what she says, that the she always work hard, but she always get the rewards of her hard work. Apart from the regular concertment program, Alvin also gave free concerts in prisons. So she also give some free concert, means the concert or the program that she perform, she doesn't take money for that. That is we call free concert. So she used to give the free concert in the prison for the prisoners and the hospitals for the patients. She also gives a high priority to the classes for young musicians. She always give priority. Priority means preferences or great importance to the classes for the young musician. Mean to say that she always give preferences to give classes to the young musicians. And a Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for the Deaf Children says, so there is a fund, there is an organization, Beethoven Fund, and the person of this fund, one of the persons of this fund, and Rachlin said that she is assigning inspiration for deaf children. She is assigning inspiration for deaf children. Who is Elvin? Okay. Inspiration means that motivate people, that inspire people. So they see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. So by seeing this goal, Evelyn, that other deaf children also get inspired, they also get motivated, and they believe that if they also wanted to reach somewhere, if they wanted to achieve something in a life, they can achieve it because the example of Evelyn is there. So Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. Accomplishment here to achieve something, completed or achieve something. So she has achieved more than the most people twice her age. Means very young age she has achieved even what the people of her twice is not achieved. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra, means she has taken the orchestra to the next level and demonstrated that it can be very moving. And she had demonstrated, means she has shown, she has displayed that it can be very fascinating. Moving means very fascinating, very interesting. So she has given inspiration to those who are physically handicapped. Okay. People who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. So this is the the main motivational thing that people used to see in her, that if she could do something, so everybody can do, and not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to the millions. So not only she has inspired, not only she has been a pillar of motivation or guidance, but also she has given a large number of people around the world pleasure and happiness. So, this is all in this part. Thank you very much.